Hello and welcome to another video, and after a couple of weeks away from iRacing, we're back this week to take on another round of the Ferrari Fixed Challenge. This week we've got the spectacular sunset scenery of Spa. It's a fantastic GT3 circuit, but it's also very competitive and we're going to be really up against it here. We've been placed in a higher split, and as you can see from the qualifying times, we're well off the pace. We've put it 14th on the grid, but we were the slowest of all the drivers who put in a qualifying time, and we're the only driver in the 222s. Everyone else who put in a time has lapped in the 221s. So if we're going to be competitive, we need to up our game, and we'll need to up it quickly too, because this race is about to get underway and we're in very real danger of getting left behind if we're not up to pace straight away.
The pace car is in. Green flag, green flag.
Oh, I absolutely hate that last chicane when you're in a rolling start. I'm always so paranoid about trying to keep to my side of the track, and I completely messed up my exit out of it there, and we've lost several positions. In fact, it looks like there's only one driver on track behind us, maybe two if you count the one who's starting from pit lane. But yeah, disastrous start here at Spa. Already the pack in front have opened up a bit of a gap. It's 0.8 of a second to Mamani ahead, and look behind, we've got Lasse Koskinen right on our tail as we go through Eau Rouge and rattle on for the first time. It'll be interesting to see if any of the drivers ahead exceeded track limits going through there, because iRacing dishes out some very hefty time penalties for that offence. And look on the right, it looks like someone has fallen victim to a time penalty. So we've gained one position, but we're going to lose it almost straight away because Koskinen's going to have a look up the inside and makes the pass stick. I knew he was there and I knew he was charging, but I just left too much of a gap, and we're going to lose another driver. That's the #1 car of Craig Stevenson, who's binned it. I don't know if that was his own mistake or whether he received a helping nudge. We'll have to go back and check out the replay shortly, but for now, we're chasing Koskinen in that beautiful Singer livery. Oh, I love that corner. It feels so good on exit, flat out. And Koskinen in front is going to run it in a little bit wide, so that'll give us a couple of tenths back. There was some dust being kicked up from Mamani as well. We'd lost a few tenths on these guys on the approach to Toughen, but we're right back with them now. Oh, and I'm concentrating too much on following Koskinen there, and I followed him onto the grass. That was a frightening moment. We're okay though. Koskinen's going to have a look up the inside of Mamani. I think we better give them a bit of space here, particularly with the chicane approaching. It could so easily end in disaster, so let's just hang back ever so slightly. They've managed to avoid contact, but Koskinen ran in way too hot. That's going to compromise his exit. Have we got the speed to pull alongside him? No, we haven't. We'll cross the line to start lap 2, and finally we'll see which position we're in once the leaderboard updates. We're 15th, and we're following the two best looking cars on the grid by the looks of it, but I'd still like to get around them, but we're not going to do it with moves like that. Just getting on the gas a bit too soon out of La Source, lost the rear, and that's cost us a few valuable tenths on the approach to Eau Rouge. Oh, and look at the rear view mirror. Simon looking menacing out of Radillon. He's certainly got the pace to pull alongside, but hopefully Koskinen will do the same to Mamani and block Simon's path, and that's exactly what he's done, so that'll work in our favour. We've got Simon on the inside of us, so we're going to have to give him room, and there's contact in front. Koskinen and Mamani. And did Simon get caught up in it too? No, he didn't. He got through safely. He's still there in the rear view mirror. Right, let's go back and check out some replays to see how we made some of those positions back on the opening laps. The first position we took was Craig Stevenson. I suspected at the time he might have taken a nudge, but he didn't. And then moving on to lap 2, we saw Koskinen make a move up the inside of Mamani. Mamani tries to get to the apex first. There's not enough room. There's contact and they both spin out, and that's me and Simon just getting by safely. And at the back of the shot here, you can see me just managing to hold off the challenge from Simon too. We'll rejoin the live action as we approach the end of lap 2, and as you can see, we're 1.5 seconds behind Patrick Narocki ahead, but he's going to run in very deep into the final chicane. That's going to completely wipe out the advantage he's built up, and as we exit the chicane to charge down the start and finish straight, we're right on his tail now. A quick glance at the leaderboard confirms that we're up to 13th place, so we gained those 2 positions following that incident between Koskinen and Mamani. And as we go through La Source, keep one eye on the rearview mirror as well, because we're still being pushed by Simon. We know he's got pace, and we know in particular that he's got pace on the exit of Eau Rouge and Radlon, because he tried to make the move there a lap ago. Had it not been for that incident with Koskinen and Mamani, he probably would have got around me. And is he going to try the same move again? He's certainly got extra pace with the benefit of that draft, so now I need to think about defending. But is Narocki going to defend as well? Yes, he is. So I'm going to... Oh no, he's changed his mind. That caused me to get on the brakes a little bit harder than I would have wanted, and that has let Simon through. He almost gets out of shape going into that turn, and we've lost someone else on the grass as well. So though we've lost the position to Simon, we have gained it back. I didn't see who that was on the grass. We'll check out the replay shortly. But there was obviously some sort of coming together with Alvarez, who was in 7th place and now is under pressure from Simon. Simon maybe just drifting out a little bit wide through Pouon. We've got some excellent pace. Let's try and make a move up the inside. If we can just get alongside, we're going to have to brake really hard here to keep this inside line. We're side by side still, but there's just not a way through. Simon held his nerve and we had to back out. Right, let's go back and check out the replay to see if we can get to the bottom of what happened earlier in the lap. And keep your eye on the orange number 9 car, Gaetano Donato. It's another example of going side by side into that section, not ending well. He just clipped the number 17 car of Andrew Bailey. And then a couple of turns later, I tried my best to get that position back from Simon. We went side by side for 2 corners, but ultimately I had to back out. Rejoining the live action now at the start of lap 5, and as you can see, not much has changed. We're doing our very best to try and stay on the back of Simon. Just in front of him, we've still got Alvarez. He's doing everything he can to try and keep Simon at bay. Meanwhile, in 10th, Narocki has cleared off. He's 3.5 seconds down the road now. Oh, we just clipped the inside curb in Eau Rouge. That unsettled us a little bit. We drifted out wide, picked up an incident point for an off-track, but thankfully it looks like we've got away without picking up a slow-down penalty. Was Simon as lucky though, because it looked like he went even wider than I did, and there's your answer. He's clearly giving time back. So if we can just get a crisp exit out of this section, we should be able to open up a decent amount of breathing room over Simon. And here's a replay of the infringement, and watch Simon all 4 wheels off the track as he goes through Eau Rouge. Meanwhile, a little bit further ahead, an intense 3-way battle for 8th place was developing. Now watch Patrick Narocki at the back of this group. He gambles on braking later around the outside, but it's a gamble that doesn't pay off. He runs wide and then rejoins right in front of the red number 15 of Carlos Alvarez. It slows them both down, and it gives me the chance to close that gap. So we're going to rejoin the live action at the start of lap 6, and with Narocki and Alvarez within 1.5 seconds now. It's all to play for on the last couple of laps here at Spa. Kept it between the curbs through Eau Rouge this time. That's good. The last thing we want now is a slowdown penalty. We're doing everything we can to stick with these 2 guys in front. Narocki trying to use that draft as much as he can, but Alvarez is going to defend, so Narocki's going to have a look around the outside. We've seen several drivers side by side through this section, and it rarely ends well. Alvarez has got the advantage, but he runs out a bit wide and clips the grass. That sends him in to Narocki. Narocki's gone. Somehow Alvarez survives. So yeah, that collision put me up to 11th, and let's check out the replay to see what happened. There's Narocki trying to go around the outside, but he's not close enough, and it's probably lucky that he wasn't, because Alvarez runs in really deep. It's also compromised his exit. There's the clip of the grass, and there's the contact. The next lap is the last lap then, so it's going to be a one-lap shootout for the final top 10 position. Currently, we've got Alvarez in 10th and me in 11th. I'm half a second behind, so the first thing that we need to do is get closer to Alvarez because we're not close enough to make a move at the moment. However, as we rapidly shift down through the gears, trying to get this car stopped as late as possible into the chicane, we have closed that gap. We're right on Alvarez's tail as we charge down the start-finish straight. The white flag is out. This is the last lap, so it's now or never. Oh, the rear of Alvarez's car there just seemed to get a little bit squirrely on the exit from La Source. It doesn't seem to have slowed him down. He's still got that 0.4 of a second advantage as we head into our route for the final time. It's imperative we get this one right. And we have got it right, and in fact we may have done a better job of it than Alvarez because it looks like we're carrying some extra speed and we're going to have the draft as well. Now, which way is Alvarez going to go? Is he going to defend? It looks like it is, so we've got no choice but to go around the outside. We've seen several other drivers come to grief when going in here to abreast, so I've got to be really careful to give him room. We're still side by side, and I think we might have done it. We've just got the speed coming into this right-hander, and yes, we have taken 10th position. Oh, I'm delighted with that pass, but the hard work's only just beginning because now we've got to defend for more than half a lap. Didn't quite hit the apex. That's going to cost us some speed on exit, so I'm going to have to think about defending into Toughen. We're going to move over to the left, and if he's going to go round, we're going to have to make him go round the outside. He's briefly alongside me, but there's no way through, so we've held on through Toughen. Now we're going to have to think about defending again. Stick to the inside here, but again, we've got to be really good on the brakes because we need to hug this inside line. And it looks like we've done it. We've blocked off all routes through. Alvarez is behind, and if we can get a good exit out of here, we might even open up a little bit of a gap. 0.3 of a second is. There's nothing in it. And Alvarez looks really fast through that curve. He's gaining, and he's going to have the draft as well. So again, we're going to have to move to the inside and try and force him to go out wide. It looks like we've got enough room now to get back on the racing line for this fast left kick. That's good because we can go through it at full pelt, but it's all going to be about this final chicane. So again, we're going to have to go defensive and hope that we can seal it off. Well, we've made it in first and we've claimed the racing line, so all we need now is a smooth exit and it's job done. Let's get on the gas, and we're going to take the checkered flag for an unlikely 10th position.
Chicken flag, chicken flag. Great job, you did really well.
Wow, yeah, that was a great battle with Alvarez on the last lap. Really enjoyed it. It's very unusual for me to come out on top in one of these last lap tussles. So let's take a look at the replay. And this was the move that I made around the outside in Les Combes. I tried my hardest to give Alvarez as much space as possible so the two of us could get through, but I just carried enough speed to make the pass. And from then on in, it's all about defending and trying to force Alvarez to take the wide line. We want him to go the long way round, starting with Toughen. We've still got the advantage on exit, so we go straight for the inside again. But remember, early in the race, I tried a similar move here, and it didn't pay off. This time, though, we're not side by side. We're holding the advantage, which means it's going to all boil down to a do-or-die move in the final chicane. Look how close we are as we begin the approach. You can throw a blanket over the pair of us. I've been really determined in recent weeks to try and improve my defending, and this was a stern test, so we moved to the inside once again to try and put ourselves in the best possible position to defend in this chicane, and we do it. We managed to hold on to 10th position. And big respect to Alvarez too. There were no lunges. Everything he did was safe and fair. A great battle. So there we go, a pretty intense return to iRacing and another exciting Ferrari GT3 challenge race. Let's call up the classified results so we can see just how much we overachieved by finishing 10th. Look at the lap times. My best was a 2:22.2. And that's more than a second slower than any of the 9 drivers in front of me, but it's also slower than a lot of the drivers behind me. But we kept it steady, we kept it on track, and we reaped the rewards. If you've enjoyed watching the video, don't forget to leave a like. I really appreciate all your comments too. Drop me a line, tell me what you thought, and I'll see you for the next video. Cheers!